right back. Welcome back, listener. All right. My name is Aaron Richmond. This is Aaron's Opinion on Caroline Radio and Blind Advocate Radio. We're joined this evening by Shane Kubat. Basically, at the beginning, we kind of were saying that you're basically a blind butcher. And when you are not working in this butcher company, you spend a lot of time metal detecting in your town in Pennsylvania. And we were talking about some of the different frustrations that blind people are facing today, given the current situation. I think one of the, in fact, I know that one of the reasons why I started Aaron's Opinion was that I was always very concerned about the fact that there were never really a lot of approachable podcasts and approachable formats for blind people to come and have a conversation with someone. So I'm asking because I want to know, why did you get into YouTube? Do you podcast? How did you get into the YouTube that you produced yourself?
Well, so at a point, I really had a tough time with losing my eyesight, but I overcame that. I leveled off, and so I just wanted to show people that the loss of your eyesight does not mean the loss of your world. So I decided I just wanted people to see it my way, to see how I get on living with the loss of eyesight. It's a tough thing to overcome I would guess for everybody. So
Definitely.
So I just wanted to share my life to possibly help somebody else,
right.
get through their loss of eyesight.
Well, good. And that is what I hope that Aaron's Opinion does, is that I hope that this show inspires one person and helps one person to overcome and kind of accept being blind, or if you are already blind, to have a good idea about some of the different things that can be done and some of the different ways that you can participate in society. So yes.
Well, eventually, I just originally my videos, I was just like talking and just doing things like wakeboarding, but then I decided to start sharing my hobby on my channel, because if you put your mind to something, you can really do it, within reason.
So good. And what is wakeboarding? Can you tell us more about that?
You're just drugged behind a boat with your knees on a board. Just.
Okay, so it's similar to, that kind of reminds me of water skiing.
Yeah, water skiing, but on your knees, pretty much.
Okay. So how is it different from water skiing, apart from the being on your knees? But why is that? How did you get into that sport? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't really do it as a sport, but we were at the lake with some friends, and we were out on our pontoon boat, and they said, "You want to try it?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I could probably do that." So, so I gave it a try, and I did it.
And was it a special board that was made for that activity, or was it kind of a makeshift board?
No, it was made for that activity.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, have you done a lot of sailing?
No, I've never done sailing, but that would be cool to try.
Yeah, I've done it. It's a lot of fun, and it's also a lot of work too. So,
But my family and I, we do go kayaking in rivers,
hmm,
so that's a lot of fun.
good. Yeah, kayaking can be fun. It depends on where you go, and do you do that on mostly rivers or creeks? How do you go about kayaking?
Just pretty much on a river, you just go with the current, and somebody usually tells me left or right, look out for the bank, or no.
Good.
But
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot of fun and relaxing.
Well, it can be. It is. Can be. It kind of depends on who you're with. Because some people are not necessarily relaxing to have in the same kayak. So,
Yeah. Well, actually, it's a single person kayak. I'm in my own kayak,
well, good,
so I'm not with somebody.
great. And yeah, I've done that before in a tandem kayak with usually my brother, or sometimes my father, but usually my brother when we've done it in the past. Hmm.
Hmm.
So basically, what are some of your future goals, or what do you think?
Well, actually, one of my future goals is to learn Braille. I put it off for so many years, and
Hmm.
now I find myself not exactly needing it because with the technology, it seems like people aren't learning Braille as much.
Hmm.
Do you think that's going on?
I think it depends on who you ask. If you ask me, I would tell you that that is true. But if you ask, many people in NFB or who participate in NFB events, they'll tell you that Braille is still critical. And it is. Um, but with technology, it is considered to be less. A lot of the younger generation feels that it's less important to know how to read Braille and to be able to read in Braille. So,
And that's kind of how I felt throughout the years. Like my own M trainer and everybody said you should probably learn it. And I just I'm not going to learn it. But now I'm finding that I should have learned it, at least basic Braille.
yeah, I mean, I think people need to have a basic knowledge of it, but as far as every single contraction, I would say no. I would say that might not be. I don't know. It kind of depends. I mean, do you have usable vision today or no?
No, I just have pretty much like light perception. I can tell if
Oh,
there's light.
right, right.
But I would like to use an ATM machine.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean I know you can hook your earphones into it, but how
Right,
I don't know what buttons to push because I don't read Braille.
right.
So so that would be nice.
Yeah, so maybe you should learn it, for doing small tasks like that. Although
And
really, yeah. Although really, how often would you go to an ATM? That would be the next question.
oh yeah, that's true. Probably not too often, but I'd like to be able to say I can do it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've had very few needs for ATMs in my life. I used one. I mean, occasionally in Europe, I use them, um, but that's not terribly common either these days.
And like I hate my audiobooks. I get audiobooks through the Carnegie Library for the Blind.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I always have to ask somebody, what's the books, but they do have Braille on them, but I just can't read it. And same thing with my book reader. All the buttons are in Braille, but I kind of had to memorize them through trial and error. The buttons.
Right. Right. Well, good. Well, that's. I mean, yeah, that's good. I mean, a lot of things in life are trial and error. I find. Um, let's see. Can you talk about some, some things that maybe you like to do at home? Do you cook? Do you have any unusual hobbies that maybe our listeners would not be aware of or would not guess?
Not really, other than metal detecting. That's not really. But I do have a mother and brother that's also losing their eyesight due to this,
Hmm.
from retinitis pigmentosa.
Mm-hmm.
But I just my eyesight seemed to go the first, go the quickest. I mean, so and my mother and brother, they still have some usable vision, but for some reason mine just progressed quicker.
It just depends on how your eyes are. Yeah, and a lot of things, but so yeah, it could be something that just runs in your family, but
Yeah.
it's very frustrating to lose vision really at any age. That would be tough. Mm-hmm.
I think it's really hard for a younger person too, because like I started losing my eyesight when I was still in school, and once kids pick up on something like that, they see a weakness in you, they kind of pick on you for it.
Yeah, yeah, but that's
You know.
that's how people. That's just how people have always been like that, sadly. So,
Yeah.
um, I see. So then you started losing your vision in high school, and then from there it just slowly kind of disappeared from there, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's a congenital disease. You're born with it, and you just kind of slowly lose it. And I'd say once I hit about 11 or 12 is when I had my most noticeable losses of eyesight, and it just progressed from there.
Hmm. Hmm. Whew, that's a really tough age to lose vision when you're in that transitional age of going into middle school and oh boy.
Yeah, and I love playing baseball, and I couldn't do that anymore, so it was kind of a bummer.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I know that they have accessible sports for blind people. I mean, I've never really gotten into sports, but I'm sure that there are other blind people who play all sorts of sports. So,
Yeah, for baseball they have something called beat ball, but
right.
I'm not sure how that would work. I don't know if I'd want to try that. That'd be pretty hard for playing baseball like that. And also hockey, they
Mm-hmm.
put the noisemaker inside the puck,
Right.
so that's another interesting sport you can play.
A very, very interesting sport. Yes, definitely. I mean, I'm not a huge sports fan when it comes down to it. I'm more interested in the FIFA World Cup. Do you
Oh, okay.
follow? Yeah, do you follow that? Do you follow the European?
No, not too much, but
Hmm. Yeah,
soccer's
that's
gaining more popularity here in America, though.
yeah, and that's good because soccer or football, as it's called, is really, really amazing. It's played in every country, and so every 4 years there's the World Cup. So the next
Yeah.
one is going to be held in 2022 in Qatar. Um, however, who knows what will happen with that? Who knows if they will actually, go through with that and play those games? I
Yeah.
don't know. Um, they they may or they may not. It would not surprise me either way. So I've been asking you a lot of questions. Have you watched my pod? Have you been following my podcast? Do you have any questions?
Actually, I don't know. I don't know how to get to your podcast.
Okay, well, let me send it to you after this meeting. I'll
Okay.
get it over to you.
Okay.
Um, but we are heavily transitioning over to radio. So
Okay.